Welcome to today's Secret Dream Gap Tour Stop. Centene Corporation presents the Secret Dream Gap Tour here at Enterprise Center. This weekend is proudly brought to you in partnership with Secret Deodorant, the St. Louis Blues, and Centene Corporation. Tonight's game is between Team Adidas and Team Women's Sports Foundation. Here are your officials for tonight's game. The referees are Kelly Cook and Justina Vichorek. The linesmen are Jackie Spressor and Kendall Hanley.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to today's Secret Dream Gap Tour Stop. The Secret Dream Tour Gap at Fifth Third Arena, presented by Centene Corporation. This weekend is proudly brought to you in partnership with Secret Deodorant, the St. Louis Blues, and Centene Corporation. As we welcome you into the Enterprise Center, Patrick Kelly and Christy Kehoe with you, and we're going to send it down to our PA announcer, Tom Calhoun, as he's going to have the starters for us shortly.
Now, fans, please. Thank you, Horn. Fans, please join me in welcoming Team Women's Sports Foundation. Your coaching staff, Assistant Coach Bill Wyand. The General Manager and Head Coach of Team Women's Sports Foundation, Bill Flanagan. And now, tonight's starting lineup for Team Women's Sports Foundation. Starting in goal, from Lynn, Massachusetts, number 35, Katie Burks. On defense, from War Road, Minnesota, number 19, Gigi Marvin. And from O'Fallon, Missouri, number 23, Jinsey Dunn. At the forwards, from Rockville, Maryland, number 22, Haley Skarupa. From Dousman, Wisconsin, number 13, Brianna Decker. And from Madison, Wisconsin, number 28, Amanda Kessel. Let's hear it for Team Women's Sports Foundation. And now, please welcome today's opponent, Team Adidas. Your coaching staff, General Manager Justin Johnson, Assistant Coach Mira Yaloso, and the Head Coach of Team Adidas, Matt Leitner. Now tonight's starting lineup for Team Adidas. In goal from Andover, Maryland, number 35, Maddie Rooney. On defense from Roseville, Minnesota, number 2, Lee Steckline. And from Wayzata, Minnesota, number 11, Sophia Schaefer. At the forwards from Plymouth, Minnesota, number 24, Danny Cameronese. Also from Plymouth, Minnesota, number 12, Cali Flanagan. And from North Oaks, Minnesota, number 15, Sydney Brott. And let's hear it for Team Adidas. Fans, the Professional Women's Hockey Players Association recognizes that the land on which we meet tonight is the traditional and unceded homeland of the Kickapoo, Peoria, Osage, Quapaw, Miami, and the Ochete-Shakoween nations. We recognize these groups as the traditional stewards of the lands on which we meet tonight. This acknowledgement symbolizes the PWHPA's commitment to working with Indigenous communities as we re-envision the future of women's hockey. Now, fans, would you please rise if you are able and join in the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Christy Untersee.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It is the final stop on the U.S. portion of the Dream Gap Tour here at the Enterprise Center. Is up in the broadcast booth, Patrick Kelly alongside Christy Kehoe. And Christy, Women's Sports Foundation standings isn't looking good. They're down 11-2 right now, but of course, with the extra ways you can get points, nothing is impossible tonight.
Nothing is impossible. I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. Everyone on that roster is going to have to show up tonight. I think they took a couple shifts off here and there yesterday, and I think they're going to need every person to show up on the ice and take advantage of every opportunity. We've got two new goalies on each end who haven't seen shots yet this weekend, so it'll be a good opportunity for Women's Sports Foundation to capitalize early and try to get ahead.
And Team Adidas seemed to be able to control most of that game, but for the Team Women's Sports Foundation, it seems the key to tonight is going to be keeping sustained offensive pressure and being able to get those good chances.
Absolutely. I think yesterday you could see that they were getting some good puck movement in the offensive zone, going from down low behind the net up top and trying to put shots in from by the blue line, but they're going to have to get more traffic in front and really get more sticks on those pucks. You saw Team Adidas do it perfectly yesterday. They happened to be in the right place at the right time, whether it was a rebound, kicking out, or a tip, and that puck happens to find a stick, and they were able to solidify those goals. So, again, Team Women's Sports Foundation is going to have to do the same thing.
This Team Adidas seemed to have been running by Kendall Cohen-Schofield as well as Hillary Knight. When those two were on the ice, it just seemed like they were controlling play, and those two definitely need to be neutralized if you're a Women's Sports Foundation.
Absolutely, and I think an underdog was Danny Camarese. She had a great game yesterday and had a lot of underrated positions.
So we're underway here at the Enterprise Center as the faceoff is initially won by Team Adidas, and they're just going to clear it into the offensive zone, chase after it. As our starters today, we have Danny Camarese, Cali Flanagan, and Hannah Boyd, and that was it for Team Adidas. Meanwhile, for Team Women's Sports Foundation, it's Haley Scapura, Brianna Decker, followed by Amanda Kessel. As the Women's Sports Foundation immediately heading into the offensive end, that was Kessel from a weird angle, then thrown in front. As I believe they were looking for Haley Scapura there, but they weren't able to find her, as Christy did say 2 new goalies in net as well, as that one's just tipped wide. First for Team Adidas is going to be number 35, Maddie Rooney, out of the University of Minnesota Duluth. She was a part of that USA winning gold medal squad, as a long shot there taken by Boyd, and she'll go off for a change for Team Adidas. As in the opposing end, it's going to be number 35, Katie Bird, out of Boston College. And she will be opposing Rooney as it goes on to Team Adidas' end. And we had good goaltending, Chrissy, yesterday, but these are 2 girls that definitely have been around a lot. And as we said, 1 gold medal amongst them, and definitely going to be a good goaltending matchup once again.
Absolutely. Katie Burt had a phenomenal college career at Boston College. Helped get them to a lot of Hockey East championships. And Maddie Rooney, same thing. I think they're going to have to really be challenged and try to make a move as much as possible.
Team Adidas won the offensive zone draw. It's Kendall Coyne Schofield who tried the wraparound attempt, and that hit the stick, I believe, of Burt, and then popped up. And then Women's Sports Foundation quickly the other way as Megan Keller tried to backhand her in front. That missed everybody wide, but McKenna Newkirk was there. Cycles it into the corner, goes in front towards the slot as they were looking for the one-timer from Scamora. But Team Adidas breaks it up, and using her speed is Coyne Schofield. Gets on the backhand, pushed up against the boards. But she's able to push that away as that was Keller giving her trouble. Now they try over on the far side, and Newkirk has her stick lifted. But that puck gets knocked loose, and Team Women's Sports Foundation wheeling around in their own end.
Yeah, I think you're going to really have to pay attention to the defensive play and that transition to the offensive side for Team Women's Sports Foundation. They're going to have to capitalize on those quick opportunities to get up the ice and get pucks on net.
Team Women's Sports Foundation goes for a quick change as they dumped it down. Then Team Adidas sends it the other way. That might be enough for an icing, but they're going to wave it off as they work to break it out of their own zone up against the boards. It's Balinskis unable to get it out. Team Adidas takes over at the point. Steckline, a long shot and a good glove save. That was through traffic, but a good look there from the University of Wisconsin grad.
I think one line we're going to have to pay attention to on the Women's Sports Foundation team is going to be that Decker line. A lot of points between the 3 of them, and I think they're going to be heavily used throughout this entire game.
Broyden is able to get that draw. She takes it back to the point herself, takes a shot, then that rebound poked free. They had an open net but weren't able to capitalize. It's Cameron Nisi now, and then a one-time shot taken, and a good left pad save there by Katie Burt. Team Adidas still pressuring, though. Behind the net, losing it briefly was Rofles, and then she tried to move it towards the middle. And helping her out there was Sydney Broyd, who's going to send it back out to the point. Long shot taken as they waited for it, but it was blocked. But Adidas takes right back over. Now another shot taken. That one just went wide, and that one once again from Kelly Panic. Once again, Cameron Nisi able to take that away in the corner. Then she's knocked off the puck, and Balinskis is finally able to relieve some of that pressure as Team Women's Sports Foundation is going to make wholesale changes. Now they slowly try and break it out. Good spin around by Hannah Brandt. That's going to send it into the offensive end, and they'll go racing after that as the defensive pairs change. And now it's Brianna Decker. Used her speed and then gave it off to Scapura. They tried to throw it towards the middle. No look, you get a stick on it, though, so it's Flanagan trying to send it down low, and Kessel now with it, loses it, and it's going to be Hannah Brandt pushing ahead with it. Up to Coyne Schofield. Schofield went wide and then tried to throw it towards the middle. Goes off a pad, then a shot's taken, and another save made by Katie Burt. As Team Women's Sports Foundation seems to have trouble just getting it out of their own end early, and Team Adidas is doing a good job of forcing those turnovers.
Yeah, I think one thing you start to notice, and it kind of happened towards the end of the game yesterday, especially when this dangerous line is out with Decker, that pressure gets really put on by Team Adidas to frustrate them and force them to, make mistakes with the puck. And unfortunately, Team Adidas is doing their job, so Team Women's Sports Foundation is going to have to loosen the grip on their stick a little bit and have some confidence with that puck.
Brianna Decker with a good turnover, sent it the other way. She got the one-time shot and it rang off the post, I believe the crossbar specifically, but that was a great play by Decker. She initiated the turnover, then carried it in and looked for the shot. As now Team Adidas tries to send it down low. Megan Keller is there, but she loses it. Then in front, the shot taken, and they score right in front. The one-timer by Annie Pankowski, and it goes into the top corner to make it 1-0 for Team Adidas.
Team Adidas did this a lot yesterday. A lot of good puck play behind the net and just trying to make simple plays in the slot, finding those quiet spaces. And, fortunately, Annie Pankowski was able to just get that puck nice and low right in the back of the net.
As you had said, that's been their go-to. And they tried that a couple times just in the past couple of minutes. They were finally able to get it by and got one past Burt. And Team Adidas leading 11-2 in the standings. They take the 1-goal lead. Of course, they got an extra point yesterday. They got 2 for the win, and they got an extra point as well for the shorthanded goal that they had. And that gave them a commanding lead in the standings. A reminder to stay after the game with us for the trophy presentation for the winners right on the ice. As Women's Sports Foundation tried to send it in front. Loose puck picked up at the circle, then the shot was taken by Scamora, but it got deflected wide as they try and work it up the far side boards. Digging for it there and helping out is Newkirk. They're able to poke it free, and it goes now down to Flanagan. She's able to spin off a check. Looking in front, can't find anybody. That's actually Trevigo, who lost it at the blue line. Now Team Adidas a bit of miscommunication, and then they're able to pull it out. One Sports Foundation again with Turner. Now further back, Greco being pressured. She almost loses the puck. And that's Rock pressuring. She's had a good tournament. 5 goals. She leads this tournament. As Women's Sports Foundation slowly able to knock it up the boards. Now further, couldn't get into the zone. A good hand there by Steckline, knocked it down. And here comes Pankowski the other way. Already has 1 goal, and then the shot was taken just wide. A good wrist shot look, though. And Team Adidas gets there and rebound, and they center it in front for the shot to be taken in. A big save made there on Riley Houston.
You hate to see these shots lopsided, especially with Team Adidas being up 1-0. They've got 7 shots on net. We really got to see Women's Sports Foundation start to put the gas on and get more pucks on net. There's unfortunately too many block shots or missed net opportunities.
Type in the draw, going to go back to the point, and Team Adidas is trying to send it down into the corner. It's going to be intercepted there by the St. Louis and Linwood alum Jinsey Dunn, and she lost that right in front of the net, and Adidas is pressuring. The shot was taken by Panic and just went wide. I believe Burt got a piece of that with her glove. But down in the corner, Cameron Easy has to come down to grab it. She's being hounded. Now 2 Women's Sports Foundation players joining in on that, but a good play by Panic. Wins that forward to Broit. Broit trying to fight off a person. Unable to do so. Good takeover, and here's Amanda Kessel now for Women's Sports Foundation. Brianna Decker able to get around 2 people, but then she gets broken up at the last second as she looked to head towards the corner with it, and they have to reset.
You see Team Adidas doing the little things right. That quick transition that Team Women's Sports Foundation just tried to have getting up the ice and making a play into the zone. Team Adidas just flooded the middle of the ice and prevented them from being able to get any chance on net.
Slopped in hard by Trevingo, able to come out of her net and play it herself was Maddie Rooney. She hasn't been tested much, as Chrissy said, only 2 shots. But she's had a quiet night so far as Adidas is pressuring now in the corner with it. It's Hillary Knight. Now back up at the point. Hannah Brandt. Now the shot taken. That one was blocked. That shot taken by Savannah Harmon. She had a couple good looks yesterday. But that's going to spring forward. Women's Sports Foundation Flanagan drops it back. Balinskis with the shot. And a right pad save by Maddie Rooney as they couldn't get the rebound. But here's Coyne Schofield the other way, who took a shot that was blocked immediately by a skate. In Team Women's Sports Foundation trying to get out on their own end in the slot. Newkirk can't get a solid hold on it, pushes it forward, and then it's going to be Balinskis who is able to finally clear it out.
One thing that you saw Team Women's Sports Foundation do a lot of yesterday was block shots, and they're going to have to continue to do a lot of that today in order to make some good plays happen to get themselves up the ice.
They try and chip it into the offensive end. Going in to get that as Alexa Grusho. She's gained some help by her teammate Gigi Marvin playing down low. But a good job by Team Adidas. Slowly try to break it up. But Decker, another forced turnover, has a chance. Still loose in front, and Rooney got it and was able to hug the post as they tried to jam it, I believe, then in her 5-hole, but unable to do so in this 1-0 game.
Another great move by Decker, being able to create some space for herself in that tight, right next to the net. She's able to cut to the front, try to put it on net. I think we're going to see more and more of that as the game goes on.
As Team Adidas wins the defensive zone draw, we like to remind everybody that the PWHPA wishes to express thanks to our premier partners, Secret Deodorant, Budweiser, the NHLPA, Adidas Hockey, Scotiabank, and Sonnet Insurance. As Brianna Decker again staying on the ice and able to carry it into the zone right down the middle. But then as to try to go over to Flanagan, that was intercepted by Cameron Nisi, and she's just going to chip that down away from pressure, and she'll go off for a change. And Megan Keller now has some space to work with, going to chip it forward, just a bit too high on that saucer pass. And Adidas is going to take over as it's dropped back to Harmon, enters the zone, tried to get over to Schofield. And she had one hand on her stick, wasn't able to settle that. It goes back behind the net, and it's Hillary Knight in the corner. Hillary Knight hit. Then it goes to Keller for Team Women's Sports Foundation. She's tied up right behind her net, and then they're finally able to clear it all the way out, but it doesn't look like it'll go far enough for icing, and they are going to wave it off. And a good break there for Women's Sports Foundation. They get some fresh legs, and they definitely seem to have some new life in them in those past couple of minutes.
Absolutely. I think those two quick scoring chances that they had and those quick rushes into the zone, you can see that they're trying to put the pressure on more and more here.
As they get in the offensive zone, it's Sophia Turner. Turner able to get it away from some pressure. Now into the corner, look towards the slot, but no one was home. I believe she was looking for Balinskis, and then a shot was taken. That was blocked by Rooney's stick. You heard that from up here. And it went into the corner as they dig for it. Good job by Adidas to get it towards open ice, and they're able to skate it out themselves as it's the goal scorer, Anna Pinkowski. Going wide with it, then trying to go towards the forehand, but a good poke check by Burt. She knocked that away, but Adidas stays with it. Steckline, long shot, and that one was taken in. It goes right into the stomach of Katie Burt for an easy save with 8:39 left in this first period.
Some good puck movement so far on both sides. I think Team Adidas definitely had the upper hand in that first half of the period, and like you just said earlier, Team Women's Sports Foundation is starting to pick up the speed a little bit, starting to get more traffic in front of the net, and I think they're starting to catch Team Adidas off guard in their defensive zone.
Adidas gets the offensive zone draw. They're able to win it, and then Pankowski immediately tried to backhand it in front, but it was broken up, and then Adidas takes it right back over. Pankowski left it behind the net. Cycle there for nobody. It's going to be a race for it. And a couple sticks go up in the air. Newkirk there for Women's Sports Foundation. Bounced it up by the hash marks, but Adidas takes over. Goes over to Pankowski. The shot taken, blocked by a leg, and grabbed by Women's Sports Foundation. Chipped into the zone, not hard enough, though. Adidas takes right back over. And they head into the offensive end. And that seems to be one big difference between these two teams, is Adidas' passing just is a lot crisper and making its destination a lot quicker.
Absolutely, and I don't think that they've had too many turnovers so far in this game, where Women's Sports Foundation, unfortunately, they look like they're trying to either make too many spatial passes or they're not putting it in the right spot. So that's something they're going to definitely have to clean up as the game moves forward if they want to give themselves any chance to climb out of this hole.
A lot of these first 13 minutes has been played in the Women's Sports Foundation end, and then another turnover goes the way of Adidas. They're looking towards the point with it, but instead they lose it. And it's going to go over to this near side where Brianna Decker feeds it forward for Kessel. She sent it in deep. Going after that and grabbing it was Sophia Schaefer for Adidas. And they just try and clear that forward, give up possession. And Women's Sports Foundation in the neutral zone. Long lead pass, couldn't find Skapura. And she lost it. Once again, Team Adidas able to take over there in the neutral zone. Now it's Hillary Knight one-on-one. Goes into the slot by herself. Shot right off the post, and she almost got the rebound too. But a good job by the defense to knock that away.
Something we didn't see a lot of yesterday was Hillary Knight putting pucks to the net like she usually does. She was more tipping pucks, screening, taking away the goalie's eyes. And I think it'll be fun to see her start to shoot more and more today because she's got a rocket of a shot.
As Coyne Schofield came in and she got a nice wrist shot off, she is perhaps looking for Maddie Rolfus in front. We're seeing on the Jumbotron right now on the replay that play by Amanda Kessel, or rather Hillary Knight, and just a great play by her to cut left to right, had Burt completely fooled, just missed by a couple inches.
Absolutely. She created enough space for herself to get into an open lane, got a good quick shot off. It wasn't anything overly fancy, and almost had a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Chip down low by Team Women's Sports Foundation. But once again, Kendall Coyne Schofield quickly breaking it out. Now she almost turned it into a 2-on-1 with her speed, and she's upended in the corner. No call, though, as Team Women's Sports Foundation settles it in their own end. Long pass up to Balinskis, and she's just going to chip it into the zone, and Rooney will get off and grab that. A long lead pass, it's a turnover in favor of Team Women's Sports Foundation as Alexa Grusho left it in the corner, now trying to throw it towards the middle, and no one could get there as they were all bunched up in the corner. And Team Adidas is there to get it out of the zone, but Megan Keller carrying it right back in. Nice stick move in front, then Newkirk had her chance, and she couldn't dunk that in over the last little corner. She tried to maybe stuff it in around Rooney, but Team Women's Sports Foundation staying with it.
Great move by Megan Keller to cut to the net there. A nice nifty little toe drag. Gets a good quick shot on net, and then almost that second chance opportunity snuck in behind the net there. So they got to keep this pressure on and keep trying to get as many opportunities as they can in this last 5 minutes.
It's Lee Steckline who's just going to hang out behind her net. Women's Sports Foundation going to make a change. As she comes out, long lead pass, trying to catch him on a change, but it was just a bit too fast for Abby Rock, and it's going to go all the way down and covered by Burt.
You know, one of the things that I want to really see more out of Team Women's Sports Foundation is their D getting up the ice into the play. I think we saw more of that from both teams in yesterday's game versus today's game. And you haven't seen too many times where that D's jumped up, and I really think that would make the opportunity to give them those odd man rush opportunities.
Reminder that the PWHPA has launched their permanent online store at shop.pwhpa.com. 50% of the proceeds will go to the player whose T-shirt is purchased, and 50% go into a pool to be divided amongst all players. As it's Team Women's Sports Foundation trying to break it out of their own zone in the neutral zone. It was Kessel losing it, but a good job of Flanagan to hold the line. Now on the near side, she takes a shot, and that went wide as it bounced wide. And it's going to be grabbed by Scapura. But she lost it. Good play made there by Harmon. They can't get it all the way out, and it's cleared back in and just gloved by Maddie Rooney to slow things down. You have to imagine, Chrissy, if you're Maddie Rooney, you're maybe starting to feel the pressure a bit more. Shots 10-7, and those chances a lot more frequent from Women's Sports Foundation.
Absolutely. I would argue that 6 of those 7 shots have come in the last 5 to 6 minutes alone. So Team Women's Sports Foundation is definitely putting the pressure on. I think eventually they're going to find the back of the net and start to get some momentum going.
Adidas having some trouble taking it out of the zone. Brianna Decker changing it the other way. Hard shot taken, and almost the rebound got by Haley Scapura, but she couldn't handle that. But you were talking about that before the game, Christy, and we saw right there, Brianna Decker's shot can be dangerous from anywhere.
Absolutely. And again, this line's going to be heavily relied upon this game. I would not be surprised if they hold a majority of the minutes, just because they have been creating so many opportunities in the last couple games and even in this entire series.
There's a knockdown trying to find Brianna Decker. Instead, wheeling down low is Gigi Marvin. She tried to send it towards the slot, but a stick caught that one, and it goes into the neutral zone. As Women's Sports Foundation looked to send it right back in, but that pass was a bit off the mark. And now Adidas playing with it in their own end. Trying to shovel it out. Was Cameron Nisi. Goes all the way down, but no icing as Megan Keller was there to retrieve it. She picks up some speed, gets around one. That was Hannah Brandt. Now she enters the zone down the left wing, trying to stick handling around Harmon and unable to do so, and loses it to the end boards.
You think about Megan Keller back in her college days. That's a good example of what she has done and what she can do. She's an offensive defenseman that can get up, make good plays happen. She's able to help out on the defensive side, but she's really able to add that creativity and add some more offense into the offensive zone.
As they have to play with it down in their own end, trying to wait for the forwards to change. Now quick pass forward, able to find Scamora, then drop back. Newkirk waits, shot taken, Rooney's there, the rebound, they score! That's going to count. Rooney was held. She can't be happy about that, but the goal's going to be scored by number 16, Alexa Grusho.
Grusho had us faked out there for a second. She saw that open puck sitting there, and I thought she was going to wait a little bit longer, but it looks like her stick was getting hooked a little bit on the backside, but she was able to get the follow through and put the puck in the back of the net.
It looks like Rooney was interfered with her own player right there. It was number 11, Sophia Schaefer, who lost her balance, pushed her kind of out of the net. And you saw, even though Grusho's stick was being held, it almost didn't look like she was going to be able to get it off, but just at the right time, able to get that follow through.
Absolutely. That's an extra effort play right there, and that's something they're going to have to continue to do throughout the next 2 minutes of this period and the next 40 minutes a game. They're going to have to make those extra effort plays in order to get back in.
As Women's Sports Foundation in their own end, it was Brianna Decker. Couldn't get it up to Newkirk as it's stolen by Pankowski. Then a good hit by Abby Rock right in front of the team benches. Able to knock that puck loose. And it's going to go free for Scamora. Scamora sends it down low. Decker was racing after it, but getting there first was Shaver. And now it's going to be Adidas heading in wide. Abby Rock on the backhand, looking to send it in front to Pankowski, but that was broken up. And now it's Brianna Decker looking to use her speed. Nice give and go. Down the left wing she goes. Pass over to Kessel, and it just bounced over her stick. I think she was looking for the one-timer there, but Kessel's able to get it right back behind the net. Back up top. Shot taken. Easy pad save made by Rooney. She sent it into the corner. Team Women's Sports Foundation able to grab that rebound. Now they're being held up, and it's Amanda Kessel. Open to a wide open Brianna Decker. Gets around one person. She's hooked up, and that's going to be a hooking penalty. Looks like it will be on Pankowski right as Burt heads towards the bench. We get our whistle, and with 1:05 left in this first period, we will get our first power play.
Exciting power play coming up for Team Women's Sports Foundation. They can put kind of a nail in the coffin for the end of this period here, but you cannot give up on Team Adidas when it comes to penalty kills because they got a goal yesterday. They've gotten multiple throughout this series. They're actually pretty dangerous when it comes to the penalty kills. So hopefully Team Women's Sports Foundation moves that puck a little quicker and is able to get that opportunity in.
As that one just goes right on to Bird as that faceoff was taken by Cali Flanagan for Team Adidas. And she won that and was just able to send it down the length of the ice. So a bit of a weird power play, Christy, and I don't know, some players might like the fresh ice, some people might not like the split power plays. How do you feel about that?
I'm a fan of getting the players that are hot on the ice. I think at any point in time, if you can have a power play and have that odd man opportunity, you want to be able to have it and take your chance. I think yesterday with Team Women's Sports Foundation, a good example, they just unfortunately weren't able to capitalize on a couple of those Megan Keller one-timers when she got that pass across the ice from Amanda Kessel. So hopefully they're able to do that right now and get some good momentum going here.
Team Adidas made the quick change with just 10 seconds left as that's loose in the slot. A race goes for it, and they couldn't get there as that was Maddie Rooney. He got the poke check out. Lee Steckline just looking to hold on to it. One last shot for Brianna Decker, and that made it on to Rooney before the horn sounded. But that is how we go into the first intermission with all tied it up 1-1. And definitely a lot more offense and a lot more pressure both sides from both teams after this game.
Absolutely, and you could tell in that last 5 minutes you started to see Women's Sports Foundation, all 5 players on the ice getting more mobile. You had Dee getting into the play, whether it was going deep into the zone or even just a little bit lower, driving that slot area to be able to get a loose puck. They're going to have to push themselves to be a little bit more creative and get outside the box a little bit to be able to create those opportunities for themselves.
Well, Alexa Grusho scored for Team Women's Sports Foundation, Annie Pankowski for Team Adidas, and that's where we are, 1-1 after one period. We'll be right back. We are watching the Dream Gap Tour live from the Enterprise Center.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Our moment to come together and say we deserve more.
Since 1999, the NHLPA Goals and Dreams Fund has helped thousands of deserving kids play hockey. This season, Goals and Dreams teamed up with Sonnet Insurance to surprise these young players with visits from some of hockey's best, who are excited to share surprises of their own.
The NHLPA Goals and Dreams Fund is donating brand new equipment.
Sonnet Insurance is happy to be covering next season's ice time.
Together, we're honored to help these players embrace the great game of hockey because everyone deserves a team.
Thank you so much. There's a lot of stereotypes about girls. So let's set the record straight. It's true, we love to shop. We love to dress up and to put on makeup. We love to get together and we love to talk. We love to go fast and we love to dance. But more than anything else, we love jewelry. The women's movement never stops.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gloria Wilder. With COVID-19 vaccine distributions ramping up, we are closer to getting back to what we've all missed. COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective in preventing deaths, severe illness, and hospitalizations. I got my shot. I hope you'll get yours too. Thank you, and stay safe.
The time is coming for us to get out and go again. To witness things that make us feel a little more normal. But we're all going at our own speed. At Enterprise, peace of mind starts with our Complete Clean Pledge, curbside rentals, and low-touch transactions. With so many ways to help, you can count on us for the assist. Enterprise, official partner of the NHL.
What motivates you the most to play for the PWHPA?
Mostly the just amazing women that are in this organization. I mean, we know how great we are at hockey. We're not afraid to step into that light because we are the top of the sport.
What do you hope to be remembered by?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that I hope to push out into the world. And one of those things is for young girls to feel like they can do whatever they want. And whether it's a huge dream in two different directions or if it's one dream, I think there should never be a time in your life where you have to decide, you know, I can do this or I shouldn't do this.
What's your biggest piece of advice for young girls that do have a split heart, as you could say, or two different passions? What would you tell them?
It's hard to do two things at once, but there's no one that says that you can't do hard things. If you really love it, you'll find a way to make it happen. And that's been like a motto for me is like, you can do hard things. It's going to be hard, but you can.
Looking at these young girls up here, we want them to grow up and say, I want to be professional hockey players, and I want to make a living playing this game.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Our moment to come together and say we deserve more.
Since 1999, the NHLPA Goals and Dreams Fund has helped thousands of deserving kids play hockey. This season, Goals and Dreams teamed up with Sonnet Insurance to surprise these young players with visits from some of hockey's best, who are excited to share surprises of their own.
The NHLPA Goals and Dreams Fund is donating brand new equipment.
Sonnet Insurance is happy to be covering next season's ice time.
Together, we're honored to help these players embrace the great game of hockey because everyone deserves a team.
Thank you so much. There's a lot of stereotypes about girls. So let's set the record straight. It's true, we love to shop. We love to dress up and to put on makeup. We love to get together. And we love to talk. We love to go fast. And we love to dance. But more than anything else, we love jewelry. The women's movement never stops.
On the front lobe of my left side brain. tonight. Are you ready? Is you ready? Ready. You say you ready. Whole squad ready. Ready. Is you ready? Are you ready? Ready. Is you ready? Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jet. What you got? No, not on my watch. No way. Bring what you got. I'm going to the top. You can bring what you got. I'm going to the top. Bring what you got. Bring what you got. I'm going to the top. I'm going to the top. Hopping out that truck with the killers looking like Thriller. I'm ready for the millions. Talk to myself in the mirror. Is you ready? Ready. Jump off in that Bentley with no ceiling. Is you ready? Is you sick of taking losses? Time for winning. They can't hang with us, can't bang with us. They know we armed and dangerous. If you think with my squad, better hang it up. We've been grinding hard. Can't take that from us. We've been grinding hard on the job. Can't take that from us. Are you ready? Is you ready? Ready. You say you ready. Whole squad ready. Ready. Is you ready? Are you ready? Ready. Is you ready? Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jet. What you got?
Fans, now welcome back to the ice. Team Adidas and Team Women's Sports Foundation.
Here come the menaces to sobriety, like what? Super thuggers thumping on the cut. What? Wave the gun, hit the drum till you hear it go.
And welcome back into the Enterprise Center, ladies and gentlemen, as we are just getting set for our second period of play as Team Women's Sports Foundation and Team Adidas battled to one apiece after 20 minutes of play. Patrick Kelly and Christy Kehoe with you up in the broadcast booth, and definitely a much more energetic first period than we saw in yesterday's game, and definitely Women's Sports Foundation was picking up the pressure late in that game.
Yeah, you can tell that they're feeling the pressure, and you hope that they can continue to sustain that pressure and actually put the gas on a little bit more. I think they got more shot opportunities towards the end of that period, and you expect the next 40 minutes, especially this 20 minutes ahead of us right now, you want them to continue to do that. The post got a lot of blocks in that period for both nets, so we're hoping instead of posting out, we're going posting in.
As we'd like to remember that the PA wishes to express thanks to our premier partners, Seeger Deodorant, Budweiser, NHLPA, Adidas Hockey, Scotiabank, and Sonet Insurance. The PWHPA wishes to also express thanks to the partners for today's event, the St. Louis Blues and Centene Corporation. Centene Corporation in transforming the health of the community, one person at a time. As it goes into the corner, it's Team Women's Sports Foundation still on the power play for 30 more seconds. Brianna Decker back at the point, Flanagan, and changing it over to the far side. Megan Keller, long pass over to Decker, and she was looking to maybe send that down towards a low slot where they had two women waiting. But it's going to be sent all the way back down where Decker has to retrieve. Now Keller looking to pick up some speed. He's able to do so and gets the pass over. Nice little give and go right as the penalties expire, and it just goes wide as that was Brianna Decker who tried to backhand her, lifting that when Rooney couldn't see. And we are back at even strength as out comes Annie Pikowski.
You know, on that power play that Megan Keller and Decker are going to be the two weapons that they're looking at. I think we're going to continue to see more and more throughout the game here from them.
As Schaefer tried to throw that towards the middle for Team Adidas. Instead, it's going to be taken the other way by Women's Sports Foundation. And Brianna Decker winds up, and she looked to get a shot on net herself. It just went over the net. And Adidas takes over while Team Women's Sports Foundation was changing. Long pass up, able to find, or a little quick pass to Hannah Brandt. Brandt tried to throw it towards the middle for Coyne Schofield, and she lost that. And it's just going to be sent back to the point. Harmon, near side Rolfus. She had a good chance in the first period in tight, and sends it back down low against the end boards for Coyne Schofield. Now Brandt looking to get it over to Hillary Knight, but a good heads-up play by Newkirk. Intercepts that, and then Hillary Knight able to take it right back.
You know, that's a tough opportunity right there where you're able to pick the puck off down low, get up the ice, and unfortunately that D-to-D pass just wasn't tape to tape. Missed opportunity to get out of the zone and get up the ice. Those are little details that Women's Sports Foundation just can't afford to have right now. They're going to have to clean that play up because Team Adidas is going to come hunting right back at them and take advantage of those opportunities.
Both teams making quick changes as 2 minutes in to this second period. We like to remind you that the PWHPA has launched their permanent online store at shop.pwhpa.com. When you buy one t-shirt, 50% of the proceeds are going to go to a player whose jersey was purchased, and the other 50% will go into a pool that will be divided amongst all players. And you definitely see that, Chris. You're looking around here, and especially when we were at Centennial, so you can see the PWHPA memorabilia. You see all the Cyclones, the Chesterfield Falcons. It's just great to see all the women's sports memorabilia that you're seeing around here.
Yeah, I mean, this means a lot. St. Louis is a growing hockey town, and as a coach for the local college team, this is something that we were excited about the moment we heard that it was happening. It's just one of our big missions is growing the game, and PWHPA is trying to do just that. So for them to come here to St. Louis and bring these skilled, high-level, elite hockey players for these young girls to be able to see this is what you could be one day, it's just awesome to see.
And Christy, of course, you just mentioned you're the assistant coach over at Lindenwood. Just kind of tell the viewers, what was it like this year for college hockey, and specifically women's college hockey, having to deal with the protocols and then looking forward to next season, maybe what you're looking forward to getting back to normal?
Oh, my gosh. It was an interesting season, to say the least. I think from youth hockey all the way up to the pros, everyone felt the effects of COVID. And, I mean, you really, as a coach, you hope that your players are bought in to what you're doing every year, but especially when it comes to COVID, I mean, they had to change their lifestyle around a little bit. They had to be more restrictive and more disciplined with what they were doing, and we're lucky that our players were able to do that, and we probably got more games in than other teams were able to. But to see that there was a national championship for women's hockey in the NCAA, that was great to see, because so many teams and players were robbed of that opportunity last year when COVID started. So I think everyone's looking forward to getting back to a full schedule, and I'm sure there's going to be some ripple effects. But overall, I think everyone is ready to move forward. But we all definitely learned a lot about being able to, make adjustments as quickly as needed.
Team Adidas pressuring the other way. Goes in front. Down goes Burt. She's still trying to get up as they're pressuring. Couldn't get a shot off as it went over to Hannah Brand. She couldn't get a shot off, though. She tried to pass instead, but that's intercepted by Hillary Knight. A shot taken. That was a snapshot that gets turned aside by Burt. It's in the neutral zone. Brianna Decker able to grab it. She's under some pressure. Coyne Schofield able to push her up against the boards. Now they wrap around each other, and it's going to stay in the Team Women's Sports Foundation end, or rather in the offensive end for them, as it goes through the legs of Rooney, and I believe she reached back and grabbed that herself. A great play. Was able to push that away, but Women's Sports Foundation still pressuring as it was grabbed by Grusho, and then she tried to send that towards the slot, but it goes into the corner for Newkirk. McKenna Newkirk lost it right at about the blue line. And it's going to be Hillary Knight able to chip it past one man. Then she comes in looking for the pass. Instead, a shot was taken, and it got a piece of Bird and gets deflected into the crowd for a souvenir for a fan.
We said at the beginning we wanted to see Hillary Knight start to take more and more shots throughout this game, and I think she's starting to feel the puck a little bit more. So that's great to see. On the other end, Decker, her line, showing up the way that we thought they would, putting pressure down on Rooney, and I think she is feeling it. I think at some point that loose puck's going to have to get buried, though.
And that just kind of shows, too, Kate Christie, with Hillary Knight. Yesterday she was more trying to go towards the net, get a shot block, get maybe a tip, but now she understands that she needs to change up her role, and that really shows how much of a leader she can be on any kind of team, whether it's just in this Women's Sports Foundation.
Absolutely, and I think that speaks to the level of athlete that these women are. It is sometimes your role changes from day to day, and are you able to have that mindset to adjust and do what is necessary to help the team out? And you see it with a lot of these women being able to adjust and do that, and to see Hillary doing that again, like you said, does speak volumes of the athlete that she is.
The shot just went wide from Team Adidas. It's Rolfes who was able to grab it on the near side before she could throw it down low. It's Megan Keller taking over, and she chugs forward with Emily Field. Field able to push it forward. Balinsk gets the shot, and a huge right pad save made there by Maddie Rooney. She had to kick that out and be ready for it, and we have a penalty, it looks like. It might be on Megan Keller. And I believe that is going to be elbowing, but we'll see. Is a little bit of pushing, just some fun stuff between her and Abby Rock. We'll see what the call is.
Definitely a physical play. Love to see that they're a little playful afterwards, but Abby Rock took the hit, did what she needed to for her team, so now they're going to get a power play opportunity.
So they head to the power play 5 minutes into the second period. Team Adidas' first power play of the game. They had one power play goal yesterday. It's Steckline, power quarterback in the power play. Long pass over. That's going to find Hillary Knight. Knight's going to drop it down low. And they send it back up top. Now Knight in the slot trying to look for Boyd, who had a goal yesterday as well, but she couldn't get that on her stick, and it goes right back down to Hillary Knight. Knight up top, shot taken, and that one just went wide as Steckline has to race over and just barely able to hold the line. Gives it off to Broit. She muscles off a man, tries to pass it in front to Hillary Knight, but missed that just wide. And it's going to be taken over by Flanagan, and she's going to carry it herself as far as she can, as she got to the blue line. Then it was poke checked away, but Hillary Knight's going to be called for the offside.
You see Flanagan trying to make that play where she puts the boosters on once she gets that puck, tries to get up the ice. I think Team Adidas did this very well yesterday on the penalty kill. They were able to get some shot opportunities. I think Team Women's Sports Foundation is going to have to do the same thing. They're going to need to take some chances and be over aggressive here, get that bonus point if they get that shorthanded goal.
Once again, the standings are 11-2 in favor of Team Adidas, so to get that shorthanded goal, it won't do much, but any way to chip away at this, especially halfway through this second period, because this is slowly starting to look like Team Adidas' tournament. And a quick shot there coming in quickly was Kendall Coyne-Schofield, and she just missed that wide, but her team's able to keep possession with it. Hannah Brandt, back of the point. Harmon, over to Rofles. Coyne-Schofield, she'll go to the top now. Sends it over for Harmon. They're looking towards the middle. She had to spin away from that at the hash marks. And they're going to change directions. Rofles able to send it down low. Abby Rock gets it back. And a nice pass forward. Harmon now, and that shot taken, and a blocker save made by Burt as they continue to pressure on this power play. And right as I said that, it bounces over Rofles' stick with just 13 seconds left on their power play.
Rofles was one that stood out yesterday on Team Adidas from the defensive side and offensive side. Really showed her offensive talents, getting a lot of quick rushes. She made plays getting out of the zone, joined the rush into the zone, had some really great scoring opportunities, and I think she was the reason a lot of good goals were started.
They're slowly trying to work it out of their own end. It's Jinsey Dunn for Team Women's Sports Foundation. They're just going to clear it the length of the ice, and her and Megan Keller will go off for a change. They were able to keep possession briefly. It's Steckline now on the far side. Nice pass forward. Knocks it out of the zone. She can't get her to her teammates, but they're able to pick it up. It's Panic. Drops it for Pankowski. Already has one. Then the shot was taken and a blocker save made by Burt. As Coyne-Schofield gets sent into the corner. Panic able to come away with it. She's tripped up. No call, though, as Brianna Decker took it. Another turnover for her, or takeaway rather, is now Decker into the corner, goes behind the net, tries to cut it in front. Burt, then the chance taken. The shot was by Grusho, looking for her second as well. Now it just went wide, but now it's a breakaway for Rock. Abby Rock in the shot, and a big pad save by Burt. She got that somewhere just out of nowhere and took it herself and figured I might as well take it.
Again, another opportunity that Team Adidas is trying to capitalize on. Can't give somebody like Abby Rock the puck to get to the net, because 9 times out of 10 I'd bet that puck's going to go in. But a huge save and a huge another reason that goaltenders have everyone's backs. You got Team Women's Sports Foundation that really needs to start showing their love back by putting pucks at the other end.
I believe she was just trying to sneak it between Roney's 5-hole and just a good job, or by Burt's 5-hole rather, and a good job by her to just close that at the last second. As Team Women's Sports Foundation is able to get out of their own end, but now we have a whistle, and I believe that's going to be another penalty, and it's going to be a hold, and we will see who it is on. It's going to be on Team Adidas. So after Team Women's Sports Foundation had a broken up power play between the first and second period, they now get a full 2 minutes and still some pretty fresh ice.
Yeah, I think this is if they're going to make a statement, I think it's right now. They need to capitalize very quickly into this power play. they've had some good puck movement, not a lot of shots on net during the previous power play, so hopefully they're able to make something happen.
So that's Savannah Harmon. She's going to the box, 2 minutes for holding as it's Brianna Decker getting it set up for Women's Sports Foundation. Long pass over to Keller, and she lost that in her skate. And now here comes Adidas the other way. Very dangerous on shorthanded. Roflace tried to get it over, and then a good job by Flanagan to poke that puck out of danger. And Megan Keller swooping in to help out.
That was almost a similar play to yesterday's game when they had that 3-on-1 opportunity. Luckily today they did not capitalize on that, but you don't want to give them those loose puck opportunities in the corners and give them a chance to get up the ice. They're dangerous on this penalty kill.
So it's going to go all the way into the Women's Sports Foundation end after the icing. Brianna Decker is going to lose that draw to Coyne Schofield. The shot was immediately taken by Hillary Knight. That was turned aside. And a good job by Flanagan, just kind of going to try and settle things down with 80 seconds left on their power play. Megan Keller, good drop back, gets it to Kessel. Waiting is Flanagan, then the shot is taken, and Rooney makes a pretty routine glove save as there was traffic in front, people looking for a rebound, but she's able to hold on.
Yeah, I think they really need to take a second, get set up in the zone, move that puck around. I don't think there's enough movement that's happening. They're not really catching Team Adidas off guard and opening up any lanes, so they need to be a little bit more patient, create some more chaos in front, so when that puck is shot, they're able to tip it, get it in the net.
The Team Women's Sports Foundation gets set up. 60 seconds remain on their power plays. It's Kessel, one-timer by Keller, and that missed everything wide, and it's going to roll all the way out of the zone. And quickly back to retrieve it is Amanda Kessel. Quick pass up to Decker, and she thought she was onside. Just barely gets caught, though. And that faceoff's going to go into the neutral zone, as we like to remind you that the PWHPA wishes to express thanks to our premier partners, Seeger Deodorant, Budweiser, NHLPA, Adidas Hockey, Scotiabank, and Sonet Insurance. As it's nice to see Christy, Women's Sports Foundation, seem to get their offense figured out and really starting to figure out getting that over to Megan Keller.
Yeah, I mean, Keller's got a wicked snapshot and a great one-timer. It's not surprising that they've got her on that flank side trying to get as many shots from her as possible. It's going to be some onus on her to make sure that that puck gets on net and it doesn't go wide, so it's not a free opportunity out of the zone.
Just 30 seconds remain on the penalty to Savannah Harmon. And it's taking it shorthanded as Schaefer chips it forward. And here's Cameronese on a breakaway, shorthanded, walks in and takes a wrist shot and just right into the stomach of Katie Burt. Once again, a second breakaway where not much of a move is made, but still a good shot. And if you're Team Women's Sports Foundation, another situation that just cannot be happening.
No, and Cameronese was very dangerous yesterday. I'm pretty sure she finished the game with 3 points, and I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened today. She's somebody that not very flashy, but she does the little things, and she's able to take advantage of those opportunities when they're there.
As it's Kessel in her own end trying to get away for some pressure. They're able to do so as Team Adidas backs up, still shorthanded they are, as Brianna Decker with 10 seconds left heads through. Nice pass to the outside for Kessel. Well, the power play's over, but let's see if they can keep momentum. As it goes Decker into the corner. Trying to help them out is Scarpura. She's able to get the puck away. Was looking towards the middle with it as Decker was closing in. But that puck's going to follow them in their skates all the way to Maddie Rooney's glove.
You see Brianna Decker going from the boards to the middle of the ice, back to the boards. She's doing all those little things to try and create opportunities for not just herself, but for her teammates. This line's definitely, I'd say, arguably got majority of the shots for this Team Women's Sports Foundation so far.
In the defensive zone draw won by Team Adidas, but immediately on that is Amanda Kessel. She gets helped by Brianna Decker. Good job to get around one. Decker now into the corner. And she tries to work behind the net with it, but Harmon is there as well as Hannah Brandt. They're able to poke that free for Coyne Schofield. Pass finds Turner, trying to get it further to Hillary Knight, and that's going to be offside. And that was a little bit offside as Hillary Knight once again got caught. Just 8:18 left, and definitely become a more even second period, Christy. Women's Sports Foundation finding their own chances, finding their feet under them, it's turned into quite an entertaining game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason we keep bringing them up so often is because they do have that uphill battle in the standings, but you do hope that they're able to chip away at it little by little. But it's definitely been a good back and forth game, and at some point they've got to start capitalizing on those opportunities, or eventually Team Adidas will.
Is knocking that down low for Abby Rock. A good cycle, gets it over to Pankowski on this near side. She backs away from one person and is able to get it down for Donovan. Donovan in the corner. She's pushed up further by Greco. Greco is able to poke that free, and then almost a breakaway chance for Belinkis. That's going to be just taken over by Emily Field. She has her stick lifted, but still powers into the offensive zone. Loses the puck to Rock. Rock just clears it forward. A good job by Pankowski trying to use her body to knock off the puck. The Women's Sports Foundation just sends it right back in. They're able to get the quick change. That's going to be given up to Donovan. Donovan enters down the right wing. She'll take it herself off the end boards. Keller going in after her. She's able to get away from her and cycles it back for Abby Rock. Rock looking towards the middle. Unable to find Cameron Nisi. Then she settled it with her chest and tried to take a shot, but her stick was met by an opponent's right as she swung at it. And it's going to be now McKenna Newkirk at the red line. Just clears it in. Trying to race after it is Haley Scamora. She can't get there in time, so it's going to be Steckline who's able to successfully break it out. 6:43 left as Team Adidas and Team Women's Sports Foundation knotted up at 1 for Team Women's Sports Foundation. It was Alexa Grusher who scored in the first. Meanwhile, on the other side, it was Annie Pankowski who had the first goal for Team Adidas. That's where we stand right now as it goes behind the net for Megan Keller. She's hit. They fall up against the boards, and Team Adidas suddenly has a chance as they try and send it over to Harmon. She has to pinch, and it gets down to Broit. Broit back up top. Cameronisi being pressured, able to get it down low. And then Panic has to spin off someone, gets it in front, and Cameronisi almost got it on the far side, but Burt maybe got a piece of that kick in her right leg out as another shot was taken from the point, and that one is blocked by Team Women's Sports Foundation, and they grab it and take over. As you can see, Team Adidas definitely sees that pressure building up, and they're trying to get their own offensive chances themselves.
Absolutely, and I think one thing that Team Women's Sports Foundation did a great job was Team Adidas had complete control for the last 30 seconds in the zone, and they didn't panic at all. They stayed in their positions. They didn't get running around. They blocked a great shot. Almost had a bad turnover there trying to get out of the zone, but they maintained possession and were able to get a good quick change. I think in opportunities and moments like that in the D zone, they're going to have to be patient. And when they do get the opportunity to get out and get up the ice, take advantage of it, get up quickly, and put that puck on net.
Now another icing. That seems to be something we didn't see a lot of in that first game too. Is maybe in the second game just a couple more icings, maybe just passes being a bit off the mark and not maybe intending where they need to be going.
Yeah, I think there's definitely been some more of those unintentional ices today, just out of probably a little bit of exhaustion from this series so far. But hopefully, again, to me, those are turnovers that can't be happening. We want to keep the puck as often as possible.
It looks like we have a penalty, and it might be a hold, it looks like, and it's going to be against Team Women's Sports Foundation. Brianna Decker is going to head to the box. That's going to be a big loss for Team Women's Sports Foundation, because even though they're shorthanded, Decker's speed and shot could be very useful.
Especially with that bonus point being on the penalty kill. She would be somebody that you want out there, but this is a time for somebody else to rise up and take advantage of the opportunity.
So for Team Adidas, they get the power play, their second of the day. They're 0 for 1 so far. They quickly get it in tight. Harmon Cameron Nisi rather had a chance. But that was poked away. Goes to Hillary Knight, no problem on the hash marks. Now down low, Abby Rock. They're mixing up these power play lines a bit. And Cameron Nisi took a wrist shot that just missed everything high, but she was looking for that far top corner. Able to grab it is Panic. To Boyd. And then they get tied up themselves. Panic's able to get away and get some space. And it's going to be Hillary Knight who's going to have to, or Steckline rather, who has to back up into neutral ice. Couple nice spin around moves made by Panic, and then they cleared into the zone, or Flanagan's able to retrieve that for Women's Sports Foundation. And a good job to work that up the boards. Not all the way out, though, because they're going to still have to do some work. It's Grusho. Can't push it forward, and it goes back behind the net. Going to go to the other side. This time, Megan Keller going to do her job and just send it the length of the ice.
Great job getting that puck out. One thing you'll notice when you watch Team Adidas set up in the zone is you're going to see them working that puck high to low, where the reverse for Women's Sports Foundation was starting off low, going high. So I think they're going to really try and use that little sneak pass, getting that player off the goal line and trying to get that puck into the slot.
It was an absolute rocket of a shot taken by Abby Rock that caught a piece of bird and went wide, and Adidas took right back over. 22 seconds remain on their power play as the shot is taken. Stepping in is Hartman, and having to make an acrobatic type save was Bird. I don't think she got a piece of it, but she was ready as they're in tight again. It's Hannah Brandt going back out to Rock. Her pass couldn't get all of that as it rolled off the end of her stick. And then trying to clear it out was, I believe that was Trevingo. It was, but it goes into the Team Adidas bench.
Hats off to Katie Bird on that save. Willing to even throw out a possible two-pad stack windmill combination there. Again, a little thing to do as a goalie that could make a big difference, and just being able to show that extra effort. Luckily, their team was able to kind of calm things down, get the puck out, and they'll reset here off this face-off.
I'd like to remind everybody that the PWHPA has launched a permanent online store at shop.pwhpa.com. 50% of the proceeds go to the player whose T-shirt is purchased, and then the other 50% is going to be put into a pool and divided amongst all players, so make sure to go on and get your merchandise. This Team Adidas just barely able to poke it out of their own end. Megan Keller is there to pressure. She high-sticked it, so Team Adidas takes back over. Abby Rock, and we are at even strength, by the way, as she took a slop shot that goes right into Bert's stomach. An easy save for her.
Just under 3 minutes here left in this game, or left in this second period, my apologies. And you see that shot differential in favor again for Team Adidas. Unfortunately, that power play kind of gave them a little bit of an advantage, but you hope to see Team Women's Sports Foundation, now that they're back to even, start to pump the gas a little bit more and get up the ice.
Spin around shot taken by Panic that goes well wide. It's going to be grabbed by Megan Keller. She has time to pick up some speed, loses the puck right as she enters the zone, but the pass is still going to go over for Scapura. Drop to Flanagan. Flanagan's going to have to race for it in the corner, but able to get it to field. Now again, Flanagan, the rebound, they score right in front. A great shot, and they make it 3-1 for Team, or 2-1 rather, for Team Women's Sports Foundation. Is that Scapura?
That's what they needed. A good low play, finding that quiet space in the middle of the slot. Skarupa able to put that puck into the open space. Again, hopefully this is good momentum for Team Women's Sports Foundation to continue forward and chip away at that hill that they're climbing up right now.
So they got the lead now. They can't get the shutout, of course, because we're at 2-1 right now, but still could get some shorthanded goals. But Team Adidas looking to continue that pressure that they've had all series. As a reminder, these two previous series before this were in New York and Chicago, and the next one's going to start taking place in Canada. It will take place in Calgary. And that's going to be an exciting one, of course, because, Christy, of the COVID protocols amongst both nations, both teams are being mixed up as the shot's taken by Panic, and she closed in on net with no pressure, and Burt was forced to make the save. But for people watching at home, it has to be nice. You get both teams really broken up and playing at the same time, but you get one USA, one Canada, and it has to be great for both countries.
Yeah, I think this Canadian series coming up is going to be exciting to watch because there is a good mixture of a couple of U.S. kids that are up there, but some of the best Canadian players around, and especially going into an Olympic year, being able to see all these elite athletes competing against each other in preparation for that is just exciting to watch.
It should be very exhilarating as we get ready for those Olympic Well, I guess the trials will happen soon for the other teams. I know you were talking about that, and that's another thing you do, Chrissy, is you do some work with the U18 women's clubs and try and get them built off the ground in different countries, correct?
Yeah, I worked a little bit with Hockey China a couple of years ago, and that was a great experience. They're going to be hosting the Olympics next year in 2022, and I think they started off with a great program in '98 when the Olympics added in women's hockey, and their hope was kind of to get back on the map. But I think all these women are hungry. They haven't had, they haven't had a world championships in a while. They haven't had that competition. So even for the PWHPA to be competing right now is just that next step for them to continue staying hungry, continue to work on their game. But for them to be able to go into this year knowing that those national teams are going to be announced and knowing that they're going to get a chance at that World Championships before heading into the Olympics is going to be very exciting for them.
They're slow trying to work it out, and then it goes out of play into the bench. And Chrissy as well, it's about 10 years since you had graduated, but just looking from the end of your playing career to now as a coach, the opportunities, not just with the PWHPA, but internationally, what has it done for women's hockey over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I know when I graduated high school even, we didn't even have the opportunity of the U18 national team, and now the girls have that opportunity. So just that alone, and then seeing the NWHL, previously there was the CWHL and now the PWHPA, just the amount of opportunities that have grown just in North America and across the world. Honestly, there's a lot of good competition out in Sweden. It's great to see the opportunities that are there, and the fact that the efforts being made to get to that equal pay and equal compensation for the effort and training that these women put in and day out to make sure that they are in Olympic shape and able to play for their national programs is just huge.
And of course, it seems those Winter Olympics, we have the Summer Olympics coming up maybe, but we have the Winter Olympics coming up, and those just can't come here soon enough, especially after the miracle that we saw with this USA team. A lot of the women on the ice tonight were on that team, and just to be able to get the chance to capture that again will be very exciting to watch.
Absolutely, and everyone's hungry. Again, they haven't been able to hit the ice in that international play in a while, so I think every Olympics always means a lot to those that play in it, but I think this next one's going to be even more special, just making everyone feel like they're back in some sort of normalcy, but they get that elite competition.
As it should be a great third period. As that was Haley Scapura, number 22, made it 2-1 for Women's Sports Foundation. They lead by 1 going into the final period of play. You're watching the Secret Dream Women's Gap Tour from Enterprise Center.
Connor McDavid here from the Edmonton Oilers.
My name's Austin Matthews.
I'm Carter Hart.
Hi, my name's PK Subban.
Every young girl deserves to have the same visible hockey role models as every young boy.
So join me with the PWHPA.
And it's time we put a stick in the ground
and fight for the future of women's hockey.
My name is Patrick Chan.
And this is Jeff Petrie.
Hi, I'm Alex DeBrincat, and I'm putting my stick in the ground.
My name is Aaron Ekblad, and it's time we put a
stick in the ground for the PWHPA
and fight for the future of women's hockey.
So every little girl has the chance to dream.
Young girls and young women need to see there's a future for them in women's professional hockey.
It's definitely time for us to put our stick.
Let's put a stick in the ground.
But I'm putting my stick.
We put a stick in the ground
so that they can have that opportunity.
And I'm putting my stick in the ground.
For the PWHPA.
For the best female hockey players in the world.
My daughter should have the same dreams as my son.
You got my support.
I know inclusivity in the game is really important to you, and you identify in the LGBTQ community. What does it mean to you to bring that representation to the game, to this weekend, and be an advocate and an ally?
I take pride in that. I mean, it's called gay pride or LGBTQ pride, and it really is something to be proud of. In our day and age, it does take courage to, whether it's come out or just speak about this topic or to help others. So I think whoever's in that community should be proud of themselves and who they are. I think that'll help them find a connection to the sport, a connection to women's hockey, and for them to feel included, not only for LGBTQ players to feel included, but for fans and staff and media and whoever else might be watching that. We're all one big community, and we have each other's back.
Connor McDavid here from the Edmonton Oilers.
My name's Austin Matthews.
I'm Carter Hart.
Hi, my name's PK Subban.
Every young girl deserves to have the same visible hockey role models as every young boy.
So join me with the PWHPA.
And it's time we put a stick in the ground
and fight for the future of women's hockey.
My name is Patrick Chan.
And this is Jeff Petrie.
Hi, I'm Alex DeBrincat, and I'm putting my stick in the ground with...
My name is Aaron Ekblad, and it's time we put a
Stick in the ground for the PWHPA
and fight for the future of women's hockey.
So every little girl has the chance to dream.
Young girls and young women need to see there's a future for them in women's professional hockey.
It is definitely time for us to put our stick.
Let's put a stick in the ground.
But I'm putting my stick.
We put a stick in the ground
So that they can have that opportunity.
And I'm putting my stick in the ground.
for the PWHPA.
for the best female hockey players in the world.
My daughter should have the same dreams as my son.
You got my support.
At CarShield, we want our employees to be themselves.
Woo! Where's my yogurt? Woo! How'd that taste?
But at the end of the day, it's all about the customer.
CarShield's doing it better than anybody else alive. They're the money-saving, roadside assistant, son-of-a-guns protecting you from expensive car breakdowns. CarShield cars go farther. Woo!
Hello, I'm Dr. Vincent Nelson. With COVID-19 vaccine distributions ramping up, we're closer to getting back to what we've all missed. COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective in preventing severe illness, hospitalizations, and deaths. By getting vaccinated, we can protect ourselves, our families, and our communities. Thank you, and stay safe.
Don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Aren't you the guy who tried to hurt me with the word goodbye? Though it took some time to survive you, I'm better on the other side. I'm all good already, so moved on, it's scary. I'm not where you left me at all. So if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't start caring about me now. Walk away, you know how. Don't start caring about me now. Don't stop now. I'm not where you left me at all. So if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, if you wanna believe that anything could stop me, don't show up, don't come out, don't stop caring about me now, walk away, you know how, don't stop caring about me now.
Are you ready? Is you ready? You say you ready. Whole squad ready. Is you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jet. What you got? No, not on my watch. No way. Bring what you got. I'm going to the top. You can bring what you got. I'm going to the top. Bring what you got. Bring what you got. I'm going to the top. I'm going to the top.
Hopping out that truck with the killers looking like Thriller. I'm ready for the millions. Talk to myself in the mirror. Is you ready? Jump off in that Bentley with no ceiling. Is you ready? Sick of taking losses, time for winning. They can't hang with us, can't bang with us. They know we armed and dangerous. If you think with my squad, better hang it up. We've been grinding hard. Can't take that from us. We've been grinding hard on the job. Can't take that from us.
Are you ready? Is you ready? You say you ready?
Now, please welcome back to the ice Team Women's Sports Foundation and Team Adidas.
And welcome back in for the third and final period of play of the Women's Dream Gap Tour, live from Enterprise Center as it's 2-1 as Team Women's Sports Foundation leads Team Adidas. Up in the broadcast booth, Patrick Kelly and Christy Kehoe with you. You can get into this third period, Christy, pretty well. A very uphill battle we talked about. Seems pretty well out of reach for Team Women's Sports Foundation, but they've been definitely kicking up the pressure and still made this a very exciting game for the people watching and the fans.
They are 100% putting all effort in. You've got Katie Burt in the net, who holds the NCAA record for most wins as a goalie at 121, and it's no surprise why you've seen her make some amazing saves. 2 breakaways just in that period alone. So they're definitely bringing it, and they're putting the effort in. Team Adidas has got some weapons on their side that they're going to have to shut down if they want to continue to try and capitalize.
Getting ready for the opening draw, and it's going to go the way of Team Women's Sports Foundation in the last 20 minutes of the U.S. Tour, finishing in St. Louis. As they send it into the offensive end, trying to throw it towards the slot. It's going to be taken away, and Adidas will go the other way with it. It's just going to be chipped in by Sydney Broit. Flanagan will come after it and give it off to Megan Keller, who's been just seemed to be knocking on the door and would really like one before she has to leave St. Louis.
Yeah, she's had plenty of scoring and shooting opportunities between yesterday and today's game. I think she's definitely starting to get more involved in the offensive play, so I think we'll see her probably gain at least 5 or 6 more shots by the end of the game today.
As shots 26-19 in favor of Team Adidas. We have been talking about that gap all game. Slowly starting to close again for Team Women's Sports Foundation as they turn it over right as they're trying to break it out by the blue line. Coyne Schofield on the near side boards gets taken down. And it's McKenna Newkirk coming away with it. Tried to chip it forward. That bouncing puck settled by Savannah Harmon. And she clears it in deep. There's a minute gone by as Grusho, a nice play, gets it over to the far side. Now she's going to have to wait for Scamora, and Scamora comes in, winds up for a shot, and goes right in, and a huge save there by Maddie Rooney. Pretty routine one for her, but a really good shot and a good chance for Women's Sports Foundation just to get that whistle and the face-off.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them shooting-wise. You got Rooney, who led all goaltenders in 2018 in the Olympics with a 1.16 goals against average, and she's just like Bert, she's made some amazing saves today. So Women's Sports Foundation definitely has their work cut out for them to find those gaps in the net.
Team Adidas able to break past, and they go in out of a 3-on-2 as they send it towards the middle for Anna Pankowski, but she wasn't able to get her shot off as her stick was tied up. She got the rebound, though, finds some open space, looks for a shot, gets the tip, and a goal by Abby Rock. Was set up beautifully in front, and she was on the back door just waiting for that, and we are tied at 2.
This line's been hot all game. Pankowski involved in that first goal for them. Lots of scoring opportunities. They're getting into the dirty areas, and they're protecting the puck, and they're winning puck battles when they need to, and putting the puck on net and in the net when given that opportunity.
And Abby Rock there just using her body, Christy. Trying to knock her down was Flanagan, just unable to do so. She stays strong and just puts her stick exactly in the right place, right where it needs to be.
Yep. You're gonna need to see Women's Sports Foundation start to hold strong, and I think Team Adidas probably has a fire under them from that second period and coming out for this third period being behind. So I think they're going to start to bring a little bit more of a physical game, and they're going to start to really challenge Women's Sports Foundation. They're going to need to hold strong and toughen up in those dirty areas.
So we're tied 2-2 despite it being 11-2. It would still be an overtime after this game if we're still tied at the end of this 20 minutes. It's going to be a 5-minute 3-on-3 followed by a 3-round shootout. So we'd like to quickly remind everybody that the PWHPA wishes to express thanks to our premier partners, Secret Deodorant, Budweiser, NHLPA, Adidas Hockey, Scotiabank, and Sonnet Insurance. As it's Megan Keller at the blue line, was having some trouble, then she loses it as it goes away at Cameron Nisi. She hands it off for Panic rather, and it's going to go and be taken away by Women's Sports Foundation, and clearing that the length of the ice was Amanda Kessel, and that's going to be an icing. Just 3 minutes gone by, but the Team Women's Sports Foundation, not the opening you were looking for. They had so much momentum that they were able to carry it from the first over to the entire second period, it seems. And definitely Team Adidas had something talked about in the locker room.
Yeah, Patrick, just like we said before, I think Team Adidas knows that, especially with the shots on net being as aggressively different as they have been, I think they know that they've had the opportunities and that they need to kind of dial in on their shots and start to take care of that puck a little bit more, and they did it before Women's Sports Foundation did.
It's Brianna Decker heading in the offense, able to send it down behind the net. And tying up person is Hannah Brandt. And then Harmon coming in to help her. They're able to chip that away, and the Hillary Knight further clears it all the way out of the zone. As Harmon had to be back to grab that. Following her behind her is Knight. They get set up as Harmon's wide, looking towards the middle, and she was looking for Knight. But good job by Newkirk to break that up. And someone lost their stick. That was Harmon. But she's able to get the puck and get it right back. Now down below. It goes for Panic. Or rather, Broit. And she's still in the corner, spinning around a bit, gets it to Harmon. Feeds the point, goes over, and then the pass by, or the shot by Roflace gets deflected. But once again, Team Adidas just able to get on those rebounds so quickly as a long shot was taken. Then there's a puck loose in front. Hannah Brandt was there as well as Hillary Knight. but neither of them could get a solid shot off, as maybe Burt had to get a piece of that with her pad. And Adidas keeps it in again. Shot blocked. Harmon at the red line. Loses it. Hillary Knight trying to help her out. Instead, it's going to go over to this far side, and it's going to be Cali Flanagan. Gets tied up with Pankowski. Good takeaway by Pankowski on the backhand. A chance, and having to make the blocker save there was Burt.
I think Team Women's Sports Foundation, from a defensive standpoint, really needs to clean up, especially in the front of the net. Too many loose pucks popping out. They've got to pick up sticks, body out, make sure they help out Katie Burt, and take care of that puck a little bit more than they have done.
Coming in wide is Donovan. She tried to cut towards the low slot, but had the puck stolen away from her right as she did so. And Megan Keller sending it the other way. Emily Field now down behind the net. And Field gains some help from Balinskis. Shaver is there for Team Adidas, and they're able to poke that free. And it's just Pankowski again forward to Rock, and she can elevate that forward, and it's going to be offside.
Good defensive stick right there by Megan Keller, just knocking that puck out, forcing the offsides. Hopefully we're able to see in this next minute or so a good change of momentum for Women's Sports Foundation, so they can get up the ice, get some good opportunities. I don't think they're really using that transition game enough right now. I think they've kind of slowed down a little bit, and they've really got to take advantage of when they can catch Team Adidas off guard.
Nice play made by Coyne Schofield. She comes in with a wrist shot, and having to get it with the arm is Burt. The shot was taken by Harmon. That just missed. One time the shot taken by Roflace this time. That missed again. Then Harmon thought about maybe taking the one-timer, instead settles it. And into the corner it goes. Good play by Coyne Schofield. Panic able to retrieve it on the far side boards. Roflace now a shot from the point, and that got a piece of Burt somewhere. But Cameron Easy able to get it. Then Kendall Coyne Schofield had it in front, but she wasn't able to get a solid shot after she was spinning around. Cameron Easy again. Panic off the crossbar. Rebound still loose. Coyne Schofield trying to go after it. And a great play by Katie Burt. Dives back. Is on that puck.
For a second there off that shot, I thought that I want to see that overhead view here. I thought it may have hit the inside bar. It definitely hit the crossbar, but great puck movement by Team Adidas. They're doing a great job cycling down low out of the corners, really trying to get Team Women's Sports Foundation to kind of collapse and open up some holes, and they're finding really good lanes to put pucks on net.
Is Team Women's Sports Foundation able to win their defensive zone draw? Keller took it herself, able to get off some pressure and gets it up to Amanda Kessel, who now enters the offensive zone. By the net, no one's there but dark shirts for Team Adidas, and it goes up to Boyd. Tried a long lead pass for Hillary Knight as she was chair picking a bit, and then she's still able to take it away from Burt, but didn't have time to pass it in front, and Burt retreats back to her crease. But it looks like we have a delayed penalty as Maddie Rooney heads to the bench. They get the sixth attacker out there at Steckline for Hannah Brandt. Out of the far side, Rock drops it back to Rock again. Point Steckline. Takes a shot that went well wide. It's going to be a race right, and it looked like Flanagan touched that with her stick, but they're going to claim that was Team Adidas, and now we get the whistle and a penalty being called on Team Women's Sports Foundation.
Not an opportune time to take a penalty. 13:20 left, tied game. You're already trying to get some extra points on the board to bridge that gap in the standings, especially with Team Adidas. They've got some hot shooters. Let's see if Team Women's Sports Foundation is able to capitalize and get a shorthanded goal here.
So that's Cali Flanagan for Team Women's Sports Foundation, who's going to head to the box, and she's been very sound defensively along with Megan Keller for them tonight.
Yeah, the thing about Cali Flanagan is that she does a lot of little things in front of the net. Again, not a flashy defenseman, not as offensive as Megan Keller, but somebody that you can trust that she's going to help take care of the front of the net. She's going to move the puck when she needs to. Those little things definitely make a difference.
So they're back on their own end. It's Panic. Has to slowly work forward with it. Of course, they're shorthanded. Women's Sports Team Foundation is they can get a point with a goal as it goes into Hillary Knight, and they get the power play set up to Steckline. Over to the other side, Pankowski. Knight again has some space, takes the shot, and it bounces off the glove of Bird and just trickles over the net. As it's going to be kept in, though, by Team Adidas. calling for the pass with Stecklein. Instead, the shot taken and blocked and rolls into the near side corner. Trying to get it is Panic. Cameron Easty comes out to help. She is able to retrieve it. Stecklein, far side, Pankowski. She circles a bit, gets it over to Hillary Knight. She's being watched. Has to hand it off to Stecklein. Back to Knight. They're trying to fool it over to Pankowski on the far side. They're able to do so, but a diving play made by Newkirk, and another shot taken. That one's blocked by Keller. Tried to clear it out, but the keep in by Pankowski. Over to Hillary Knight. Knight just cycles it down low, and Abby Rock has the one goal that made it for Team Adidas to tie it, and then the shot is taken, and that just maybe got a piece of Burt, then cleared away by the defense, but they're unable to get it out with just 15 seconds left on Team Adidas' power play. Panic. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Team Adidas is doing a great job of moving the puck around, trying to take simple shots on net, not overdoing it. Again, not too many shots on net, but still trying to find those appropriate lanes to make those passes. And when that puck is loose, they're just taking advantage of having the extra player on the ice, and they're surrounding the puck and not really giving them an opportunity to get that puck out of the zone.
As Coyne Schofield takes a shot from a tough angle at the hash marks and easily covered up by Burt, but she's been tested, and she's had it seems the bounces going her way. Katie Burt has just bouncing just a bit over her shoulder and over the net, and also that post has helped her quite a bit as well.
It has. I think we said this earlier, but the posts have made quite a few saves on both ends today, but especially for Katie Burt. She's definitely got a great athletic ability, and that ability to make, again, that two-pad stack save that she showed us in that second period. But I think she's definitely a reason that this score might not be a little bit higher in favor of Team Adidas right now.
As Team Adidas playing with it in the neutral zone. Just going to take it herself as Kendall Coyne Schofield sends it over to the outside and looking towards the middle, I believe, for Pankowski, but they couldn't find her. So Harmon at the point. That was tipped lightly by Coyne Schofield, and now Abby Rock as it got caught on the apron and then got stopped by the referee, and Adidas is able to keep it in. Good play by Coyne Schofield. Down low, the shot taken, and that was from behind the net, but might as well take it, but Burt was ready for it. Patted it aside. Down at the red line, Flanagan. Able to enter the zone. She hangs out in the high slot, looking for the pass over. Instead, it's going to be intercepted. And here comes Coyne Schofield. She's on a breakaway. Right in. She shoots. She scores! Kendall Coyne Schofield came in, goes backhand to forehand, and sneaks it under the pad of Katie Burt. And Adidas takes the 3-2 lead.
Flanagan starts off trying to make a good, simple play at the blue line. Unfortunately, that puck gets picked off, and Kendall Coyne Schofield does what she does best by putting that puck in the back of the net, uses her speed to gain that space for herself, and then finds that 5-hole.
Christy, we've seen this a couple times already in this tournament, but when Kendall Coyne Schofield, of course, she participated in the NHL All-Star Game, the skills competition where she raced against everybody else, but you're really starting to see not just how fast she is, but how much she is faster than every single other person on the ice at times.
Yeah, and it isn't always just an open ice noticeability. It's in those smaller spaces, and that's that elite level athleticism that she's showing. I mean, guy or girl, I don't care. I would argue she's one of those fastest, most agile athletes out there. She's just able to create that extra space for herself in a way shorter period of time than most others are able to.
It's Sydney Broyd as Adidas is pressuring now with a 3-2 lead. A long shot taken. That missed wide. Burt stuck her glove off for that, but instead it's going to go back for Gigi Marvin. And they slowly break that out, trying to feed Trevingo. She's able to retrieve that and just shoves it down, and she'll go off for a change. Shaver almost lost it. Now she does as it goes into the corner. Newkirk was able to pick up the trash and gets it to Skamura. Skamura works around the net and gets it back to Flanagan. Walking the line, goes onto the backhand. Now back to the point. Megan Keller over, and then the shot taken. That was by Skamura, but it was blocked by a stick, and Abby Rock on it. Clears it all the way to the far side, and a good play, but can't get it out. It's a good play by Megan Keller. Holds her stick there and Women's Sports Foundation had a chance, tried to throw it towards the slot. It was Grusho there, but it got caught in her skates. Nance Penkowski dropped for Rock, shot taken, and getting a piece of that with her stick was Burt.
Good quick snapshot there by Rock. I think one thing we want to see out of Team Adidas now, under 10 minutes left in play, you don't want them to stop taking those shot opportunities, but especially defensive zone and neutral zone. See that puck management, making good, smart decisions, not overplaying the puck and overdoing it with their passes.
So I believe we have a whistle and perhaps a penalty here. And no, it's just an offside. It's going to go over to this near side for the whistle. There's 7:52 left, and right now, as it stands, Kendall Coyne Schofield will have the game winner here in St. Louis. So once again, after this game, make sure to stay tuned after. If there is a winner at regulation, we will be having the trophy presentation for the winner. Right now, it's Team Adidas if they can hold on to their lead, as it's Coyne Schofield. Cross-ice pass finds Harmon. Someone immediately on her, that's Kessel, so she had to throw it down off the boards and intercepted by Decker, taken right back, Cameronese. Coyne Schofield to Rock, and then a wrist shot taken and a pad save made, as Burt's definitely been tested more in this third period. Now 30 saves on 33 shots.
You don't see a play like that start often from Decker, where that puck's given up in her defensive zone and that unfortunate turnover, but Team Adidas trying to take advantage of it. Katie Burt just keeps saying no. You see her kind of kneeling over right now, taking a deep breath. She's definitely being challenged, and she's definitely putting full effort into this game.
Katie Burt, of course, played at the University of Boston College, but as you said, Christy, she holds the record for most wins for any woman as a goalie.
Yeah, and there's no surprise. Boston College, great Hockey East school. She was definitely, I would argue, the backbone of that program for a while. I know that she had a great college career, and I'm not surprised that she remains a part of that player pool and is here a part of the PWHPA. She's definitely an elite goaltender.
Couple of quick chances by Team Adidas, just barely broken up at the last second by the defense as it goes back to Steckline. She's looking for the shot as there was 5 bodies in front of Burt, but it went wide. And Cali Flanagan able to retrieve it. Adidas backs up, and she has some time. Some of her teammates are going to make a change. Looking for the long pass forward to Newkirk, able to find her. McKenna Newkirk, a shot, an easy blocker save by Rooney. And then just as Team Adidas looked for another cross-ice pass, it bounces all the way down. No icing, though, because it's going to be a race for it on the far side boards. But they're still unable to get it out as Team Adidas on the backhand. That shot was taken by Pankowski, looking for a second of the night. But quick transition the other way for Women's Sports Foundation. Grusho pushed it towards the middle, and Newkirk was there looking to jam it in, but Rooney jumps forward and is able to grab it.
Newkirk's had a great game today. You see her offensively trying to get as many opportunities for herself or just pucks to the net. Simple plays that maybe, again, haven't been as flashy as some others. But especially in this third period alone, she's probably had 2 or 3 shots already. I think you kind of look at her and see if she's got the hot hand right now and maybe can put one in the net.
Yes, we'll keep an eye on Katie Burt as this game closes down. They're down 1 goal, and we will see if they pull their goaltender. Is it Schaefer? Switches things around, enters down the far right wing and takes it herself, wheeling around the entire zone. Try to pass it towards the middle. It was taken away by Skamura, and then she just clears it down, going to race after it. Is getting there first was Panic. Now Shaver. Bouncing pass wasn't intended for her, but it goes to Cameronese, and then she gets a shot that gets deflected, maybe rolled off her stick weird. But Bird is able to easily grab that rolling puck. Just 4:52 left in this game. We'd like to remind everybody that the PWHPA has launched their permanent online store at shop.pwhpa.com. 50% of the proceeds go to the player whose jersey was purchased, and 50% go to a pool to be divided amongst all players. We'd also like to thank our premier partners, Secret Deodorant, Budweiser, the NHLPA, Adidas Hockey, Scotia Bank, and of course Sonnet Insurance. As Brianna Decker, nice little spinorama in her own zone to get her on Panic. She was hit though, and then the pass up to Keller. Gonna leave it for Decker, trying to use her speed. She's held up. Kessel now in front, the shot taken, and that was by Skapura, and she just missed it high, but Rooney was busy and I believe was not watching that top corner. It's Keller. Good job to keep it in. She heads towards the slot. Goes behind the net for Steckline. And slowly trying to work it out. Is Panic able to do so? But Flanagan's going to stop that at the red line. And Team One Sports Foundation has a chance, but that's going to go offside. As they're definitely turning up this pressure in these last 5 minutes trying to get that last tying goal.
They are. You see that shots on goal gap starting to get closed more and more. And honestly, that number doesn't even bother me as much because this is a 3-2 game right now. I think that last goal scoring opportunity from Decker's line, they did a great job of putting traffic on net. And as that puck got closer, it was a closer opportunity to that puck getting tipped in. They got to keep doing that. And I think their D's got to jump up in the play a little bit more.
This Team Adidas won the defensive zone draw. Less than 4 remaining as they send it into the offensive end, trying to put this game out of reach. They had the empty netter that put this game out of reach. The final was 3-1 yesterday. And they look in front for the one-timer, perhaps from Coyne Schofield, as that was Hillary Knight throwing it in front. But Knight's going to get right back on it behind the net. Tried to send it in front, but it gets a piece of Bird, and she's able to grab that in her own crease.
You think in this last 3 minutes and 35 seconds, Team Women's Sports Foundation, you want them to just get back in this, to be able to finish on top in this final game, even though the overall standings may not be necessarily in reach for them. You want to be able to see them at least be able to make some good stuff happen. Team Adidas just seems to have a lot of control over the puck, and there it goes into the net.
And that's a goal right there to make it 4-2. And just what we were talking about, that's Sydney Broyd, her second goal in as many games. She makes that 4-2, and that may just seal it for Team Adidas, and the Secret Dream Gap Tour Championship may just be theirs, at least the U.S. portion of the tour, of course.
I think Katie Bird's going to want that one back, especially after all the saves that she's made tonight. Definitely some traffic in front and a good tip into the net.
As Team Women's Sports Foundation trying to get one goal here. Brianna Decker was upended. They got into the corner, and Brianna Decker on it again. As a reminder that after this, of course, the Women's Dream Gap Tour is going to continue up in Canada. It's going to have a bit different of a setup since there's going to be 4 different teams in that tournament with all the Canadian girls up there. It's going to be a 4-team round robin. As now, hold on, it's Cameron Easton on 2-on-1. She holds up, try to pass it over in the slot. It goes under somebody, and they're just going to blow the whistle. But as I was saying, the Canadian teams will play 4 round robin games in Calgary between May 24th and 29th. And then the Canadian Secret Cup Champion will be held on May 30th at Scotiabank Saddledome, the home of the Calgary Flames. And then, of course, all games will be available on sportsnet.ca. And we talked about that a bit, Katie, but there's a lot of big talent in amongst those 4 teams. It's going to be very exciting. Hillary Knight maybe trying to get up there and play in that tournament as well, depending on travel restrictions.
Yeah, I think just looking at the Canadians alone that are on that roster, I think there's going to be a lot of young women that actually are a part of that national team for Canada and that have just been named to that final roster to go in and have an opportunity to play in the Olympics and represent their country. So I think, again, we talked about this earlier, but having that chance to get some competitive games under your belt. And I think, PWHPA did a great job making the best of this COVID era that we've lived in separating and having a U.S. tour and then having that Canadian tour. I think it allows everyone to get a little taste of the action, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
This has been a very exciting tournament amongst these 3 cities in 6 games. You can't help but be excited for next season, though. Not only the Olympics in a couple of years, but of course, perhaps another NWHL season.
Yeah, there's a lot of women's hockey to go around. I think right now, PWHPA getting through this Canadian part of the leg, and then hopefully, I'd love to hear about something happening in the fall prior to things getting started for those that are preparing for the Olympics. Maybe will happen, maybe not, but even, again, the fact that we're able to do this right now, I don't think any of us thought a year ago or 6 months ago that we'd be able to see this, so it's great.
This Team Adidas was pressuring after the offensive zone win, but they had to retreat down into the defensive end, and then a little bit of talking amongst all of them. We imagine friendly. It's been friendly. Maybe it's not, though. That was Brianna Decker, and I believe that'd be Rock. It was actually Sydney Broit for Team Adidas right there, and they're just going to take this draw to center ice. All right, the Blues logo in Team Adidas able to win that draw with just a minute left in this 4-2 game. The Team Adidas definitely deserves this championship. They've been the better team, it seems, especially in these 2 games, and they just keep going on the gas over and over and over.
Yeah, I think they found their identity pretty quickly when they started this series, and I think they've just been able to build on that, and they've got 3 solid lines that have been able to make some good plays happen and provide some consistency. And you saw that happen today. Even though they may have had a couple of lows, they were still able to stay true to their offensive scheme and find a way to put the puck in the net.
As a reminder, on the PWHPA Twitter and Instagram page after this game, you can find the Budweiser goal of the game and the Canadian Tire play of the game, and we will have the 3 stars with you right before the trophy presentation. There's 20 seconds left. There's one last chance for Team Adidas as they're just going to hang out within the neutral zone, panic, holding on to it, knocked down against the boards. 10 seconds left. And this tournament has gone from New York to Chicago and now finally St. Louis, but Team Adidas is going to be crowned the Secret Gap Tour champions.
Katie Burt with a nice save there in that last 30 seconds. She was solid the entire game, tried to give her team the best opportunity to get the win. Team Adidas pulls out ahead.
And of course, they have the trophy presentation coming up shortly as both teams will meet at center ice for a handshake. But we've seen this both at Centene a bit and more so at Enterprise, Christy. If you look down at both tunnels, it's just filled with little girls on both sides just looking at the chance to touch these people that they now claim as their heroes that they've now got to see in person.
You get chills seeing it because it brings me back to when I was a kid. I know after the '98 Olympics when they added women's hockey, once USA won that gold medal, that was something that they did. Having Team USA tour around the country, and it just kind of brings you back to your childhood a little bit. So to be able to see this effort being put in, it's great to see, and it's great for women's hockey.
So we're going to send it down to Tom Calhoun. He has the 3 stars and the trophy presentation for us.
The game's second star scoring a goal for Team Adidas. Number 26, Kendall Coyne Schofield. And the game's first star with 1 goal and 1 assist for Team Adidas, Ann Pankowski. Events tonight marks the end of the U.S. portion of the Secret Dream Gap Tour. This season, teams collected points based on wins and extra team achievements like shutouts. Team Adidas earned 13 points with 5 wins and 3 extra points. Fans, let's hear it for your 2021 U.S. Secret Cup champions, Team Adidas.
I like it.
Fans, thank you for joining us tonight. And the points may change.
Oh, absolutely.
Grab that.
Oh, absolutely. We'll make sure to mention that.
PWHPA.com. That's PWHPA.com. And fans, thanks for joining us tonight. Be sure to tune in to sportsnet.ca for more information. And stay in touch with the Canadian Secret Dream Gap Tour. On behalf of the PWHPA, good night, and thank you for your support.
And a very nice trophy presentation. And Katie, we noticed it right away. It's very fitting with Team Adidas winning that. Why not Nicole Hensley, the woman who had the lead in wins in this tournament with 3, and also the Lindenwood alum, gets to carry that trophy to her team.
Exciting to see, especially for me being a part of Lindenwood. But, Nicole was a big piece of the puzzle at the program, especially when they went Division I. And it's not surprising to see that they let her go out and grab that trophy there.
The teams get all together for that one photo to encapsulate the end of the U.S. portion of the tour. A reminder, the Canadian portion of the tour is going to start May 24th through 29th with a 4-team round robin. And that's going to be followed by the Canadian Secret Cup Championship on the 30th at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome in Calgary. Well, we thank you very much for watching. It was a very exciting tournament, a very exciting series over this weekend. And this is Patrick Kelly and Christy Kehoe, and on behalf of the PWHPA, good day, everybody, and thank you for your support.
I feel like a woman. The girls need a break tonight. We're gonna take the chance to get out on the town. We don't need romance, we only wanna dance. We're gonna let our hang down. The best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun. They're totally crazy. Forget I'm a lady. Men shirt, short skirts. Really go wild, yeah, doing it in style. Get in the action, feel the attraction. Color my hair, do what I dare. I wanna be free, yeah, feel the way I feel. Man, I feel like a woman.